What if I told you that Ancelotti's departure from Real Madrid might be closer than we think? The Spanish media is starting to treat this as a reality. The Italian coach, who has made history at the club, may be about to leave his position to take over the Brazilian national team for the next World Cup. Has the CBF finally found their new coach? How could this impact Real Madrid? And who would be the ideal replacement for him? Stay until the end, because the situation is heating up and could change the course of football. So if you love football and are a cool person who wants to help, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It would really help me a lot. Thank you. Spanish newspapers, especially Marca and AS, are starting to treat Ancelotti's departure as a possibility, given that the CBF, Brazilian Football Confederation, is actively pursuing coach Ancelotti again. The factor that reignited this discussion was the heavy defeat suffered by the Brazilian national team against Argentina. After Brazil was crushed 4-1 in the qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup, the pressure on the CBF increased dramatically. The team's performance was concerning, and the leaders made it clear that Brazil needs an experienced commander to restore the competitiveness of the national team. Ancelotti has not been shy about flirting with this possibility. In recent interviews, the coach made it clear that he would like to have the experience of managing a national team, and taking over Brazil could be the great opportunity of his career. Another factor that favors this decision is Ancelotti's strong connection with Brazilian players. At Real Madrid, he has a close relationship with Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Eder Militao. This could facilitate his adaptation and acceptance within the Brazilian national team, which doesn't have much time left, as we are just over a year away from the next World Cup. This news is circulating in conversations among the top sports newspapers around the world. Let's see what CBS Sports Golazo reported on this subject. And later we'll hear from former Real Madrid player Roberto Carlos, who spoke to Josep Pedrerol on El Cafelito. But first, let's go with CBS Sports Golazo.
He's got a special talent of motivating players. He's tactical in his approach, but the motivation, the pride, the things we're questioning about Brazil right now, he has that sort of elixir.
Brazil's stunning 4-1 loss to Argentina in World Cup qualifying has heightened the pressure on Brazil manager Dorival Jr. And Brazil, they could be ready to make a change. According to a report by O Globo, Brazilian Federation will meet tomorrow to decide Dorival Jr.'s fate, and they have reportedly resumed contact with representatives for Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti. Do you think that Carlo Ancelotti could work his magic for the Brazil team?
How can you ever doubt Carlo Ancelotti? But we were here 2 years ago or a year ago with the contacts between the Brazilian Federation and Carlo Ancelotti. So much talk, and it never ended up happening, and he ended up signing the extension. Brazilian media made it seem like it was a foregone conclusion that it was going to happen. They're resuming talks again, and apparently nothing's going to happen until after Club World Cup. But the last precedent that I remember of Brazil being so questionable was right before the 2002 World Cup, and they fired Emerson Leão and they hired Luis Felipe Scolari, and they ended up winning the World Cup. So if there's anybody that I trust, it is Carlo Ancelotti, but I mean, we're not even there yet, right? They've resumed talks, and we'll see where they go. But I think this serves to shed a little light on how poor Brazilian football is when it comes to producing managers in football.
Ancelotti's possible departure would leave a huge void at Real Madrid. The Italian coach is not only a brilliant strategist, but also a key figure in managing the squad, being one of the main reasons for the development of players like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and many others. His presence in the locker room is one of the keys to maintaining the team's balance, especially in times of pressure. Without Ancelotti, Real Madrid would need a worthy replacement, and that's the big question. Who could take on this challenge? Rumors about possible replacements have already started to circulate, and two names are emerging strongly in the background. Xabi Alonso, the former Real Madrid midfielder and current coach of Bayer Leverkusen, has impressed in the Bundesliga. His modern playing style and connection with the club make him one of the favourites among the board to take over. However, he is still a young coach with no experience in a giant like Madrid. Zinedine Zidane, One of the most successful coaches in Real's history, Zidane knows the club like no one else and has an impeccable track record in the Champions League. However, his last stint ended with some wear and tear, and it's uncertain whether he would be willing to return, especially since everyone knows Zidane's desire to coach the French national team. If Ancelotti does leave, the club will need to make a decisive choice to avoid negative impacts on the team. Choosing the next coach will be crucial to maintain a high competitive level and ensure the players continue to develop. Now let's see what Roberto Carlos said on El Cafelito.
Ancelotti es el futuro del Madrid.
Es grande. Ancelotti es el entrenador de Madrid, el entrenador con más títulos en el club, una persona espectacular. Y tengo el privilegio de convivir con ellos en los viajes y en los entrenamientos. Espectacular.
Ronaldo decía el otro día que él trabajó en el posible fichaje de Ancelotti por la selección brasileña.
He leído, sí.
Y que el Madrid lo impidió. ¿No? Que el Madrid lo impidió.
Normal, ¿no?
¿A ti te consta que el Madrid impidiese que Ancelotti fuese con Brasil?
Cuando tú lees o escuchas una noticia, es difícil. Yo no estaba ahí. Es difícil comentar. Ronnie ha dicho, porque Ronnie es un empresario, ¿no? Ronnie habla de un lado empresarial que a él le interesa, ¿no? Na época que ele entrou, que se posicionou como ser presidente da seleção brasileña, pode ser que sí, no sé.
Sí, claro.
Que lo ha hecho bien.
Sí.
Para la selección brasileña tiene que tener un grandísimo entrenador. Ancelotti es entrenador del Real Madrid. Y es normal que él, queriendo ser presidente de la Confederación Brasileña de Fútbol, va al mejor. Y creo que lo ha hecho muy bien el club de no dejarle salir, porque aquí, mira lo que está haciendo.
Pero dijo también Ronaldo, dice, como ganó la Champions continuó, si no lo habrían echado.
Nah, Ancelotti es entrenador del Real Madrid y no se habla mucho sobre eso.
If Carlo Ancelotti really takes over the Brazilian national team, the impact could be huge and represent a true revolution in Brazilian football. The Italian coach is known for his ability to manage teams filled with stars, which is essential for a national team like Brazil, which always features top-level players scattered around the world. One of the biggest criticisms of Brazil in recent years has been the lack of a well-defined playing style. With Ancelotti, that could change. He is an extremely versatile coach, capable of adapting his team to the players' talents while maintaining tactical discipline. This means we could see a more balanced Brazil, with a solid midfield and a lethal attack, but without relying solely on individual talent. Brazilian fans hope that Ancelotti brings a new level of competitiveness to the team, especially after the heavy defeat against Argentina, which exposed the team's fragility. With the 2026 World Cup on the horizon, the expectation is that the coach can form a truly strong team ready to face the best national teams in the world. Will the Italian coach really take over Brazil? And if that happens, what does it mean for the future of world football? The question is, can Brazil offer a project that would make Ancelotti give up Real Madrid? Now, I want to know from you, do you want to see Ancelotti take over the Brazilian national team, or do you want him to stay at Real Madrid? Share your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates from the world of football.